And welcome to Renee and Irish Greg's Pop-Up Show. Once again, we find ourselves in the beautiful Haight Street Art Center where the Pearl Jam show is underway.
There's a Pearl Jam exhibit and there's an American dystopia it's an odd exhibit, but both free to the public. So the Haight Street Art Center is a non-profit. Who's never been here before by applause? Oh, you? Okay. Isn't it freaking cool? So this is an amazing resource. It's open from Wednesday through Sunday, and it is free to the public. So tell all your friends about the Haight Street Art Center. There's a Pearl Jam exhibit, and then there's this American dystopia exhibit.
And there's our show here, which we like to do here so that we can support the folks that want to come to see this artwork.
Exactly. So Renee and I, for those of you uninitiated, Renee and I were on the radio at KFOG for many, many years. Probably, 15.
A combined 40 years.
Yeah, a long time. We're on the radio for a long time. And then a few years ago, they fired us. Boo. And then about 2 months ago, they just fucking gave up on the radio station altogether. And now KFOG is a hip-hop station in Little Rock, Arkansas.
Yeah, that's a true fact.
No joking.
Yeah.
So, but when we all got fired, Renee and I decided to put this little podcast together.
Yeah.
And it's grown and grown, and it's lots of fun. So thank you all for supporting us.
Yes.
Some of you came here because you're patrons on Patreon. So patreon.com
Yay, patrons.
/Pop-Up Bay Area. You pay $5 a month. You get free access to these shows. You get free booze. And you get amazing free music.
Yes.
What could be better? It's literally the best deal in town.
And Irish Greg, of course, was a producer on the KFOG Morning Show, and he is ever the producer here, so you can thank him for all these great shows that come together. So,
oh, thank you.
Bravo to you, sir. Bravo to you.
But enough of our yakking, as we say, because you're not here to see us talk. You are here to see the awesome Poor Man's Whiskey.
How we doing out there, my friends in San Francisco? We're gonna send one up to all of our friends up in Humboldt County. We're gonna take over the KFOG airwaves like it used to be. Let's get out a loud yeehaw on the count of three. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Underneath the stars, in the redwood trees. Oh, we ain't got much, but we got what we need. Have a good time, feeling fine, pass that ball on down the line. Hey, moonshine, women I find, head to the Humboldt County line. Hey, stop your feet on the ground. Humble, go down. Hey, hey, stomp your feet on the ground. Humble, go down. Hey. Well, Cripple Creek wide and Cripple Creek deep, always crip before I sleep. Roll my bridges up to my knees, going up Creek whenever I bleed. Going up Creek Creek, going in a run, going up Creek Creek to have some fun. Going up Creek Creek, going in the world, going up Creek to see my girl.
Grandpa died at 102. We danced and sang like he asked us to. People came from miles around to throw Grandpa in the ground.
Going up Creek Creek, going have a run, going up Creek Creek to have some fun. Going up Creek Creek, going have a whirl, going up Creek Creek to see my girl.
Down the trail after dark, ain't no work on this bar. Going out to the horse in the yard, like this is a life is hard.
Going up Creek Creek, going in a run, going up Creek Creek to have some fun. Going up Creek Creek, going in a whirl, going up Creek Creek to see my girl. Hey, stomp your feet on the ground. San Francisco, down. Hey, stomp your feet on the ground. San Francisco, down.
Yeah. Wow. What a start. Poor man's whiskey. Wow.
They are. Oh my God, so much fun. I mean, we should have cleared the chairs out.
No,
and just had a dance
I was
floor.
exactly. So hang on a second. We could change things. There is the power of editing. Who wants to have a dance party?
You know, it's a small enough smattering.
Is it too much?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
if we have a dance party up front, then people who need to sit can't see.
Yeah. If you want to do your dancing, right in
Oh,
the back there.
so
Where
go-
Carrie, raise your hand. Right where Carrie is.
Carrie-
That's where you can do the dancing.
Carrie is dancing away at the back. So if you want to dance, go and dance that back there with Carrie. You're also conveniently close to the bar. Okay. So
We're also big fans of folding chair dancing. That's super cool too.
You can get carried away.
Oh, the pun master. That is Josh from Poor Man's Whiskey. So we got lots to discuss. First of all, Josh, because we got a lot of J's on stage. In fact, we've got more than one Josh on stage. So
Josh and a
will you
Joshua.
can you go ahead and introduce the band for us?
You got it. So I am Josh right here. Thank you, everybody.
Yay.
To my right over here, we got Jimbo.
Yeah.
And then we got George with a J.
Or Jorge.
And we got Jason on the mandolin.
Yeah.
And then we got Joshua on the bass.
Now, Josh, I do want to ask you, you and Jason formed the band, right? You guys are the founding members? Is that true?
Correct. That is very correct.
And then how many other J-named fellows have been in this band?
This might be the first all J configuration ever. So this is like it's all coming down together right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, is this the most confined space you have ever played in?
Absolutely not. No.
No, really?
Yeah.
Because normally when we do our show in this room, it's 2 or 3 people. So when you and I were going back and forth, and we're like, 5 people, okay, we can figure it out. So we pushed the stage out a little bit further, but there's not enough stage for everybody. Are you all right back there? Okay.
Right on.
Don't mind behind the curtain.
I have many, many questions for you. May I please ask, because I've heard of your band and I've seen your name around, but can you tell me what actually is a poor man's whiskey?
Well, yeah. So now that marijuana is legal, we can talk about this. It used to be this like, oh man, we can't talk about it. It's hush hush, right? But Poor Man's Whiskey, I got the band name and I cleared it with Jason, obviously. I was a Peace Corps volunteer down in El Salvador, and I was just eating up books about musicians, and I was reading one about the folk revival era, like the Pete Seeger times, Woody Guthrie, and they brought Mississippi John Hurt out on the road, and they were talking about how this old man, he would sleep in a rocking chair and sing his songs, and they would party down, and he just would sit there with his old granddad whiskey in the rocking chair and play songs all night long. But one time a joint came around, he goes, "Man, that's the poor man's whiskey."
Oh.
And so
So here's me thinking it's moonshine all this time.
or cheap, bottom shelf. But
Yeah.
actually,
That's what I thought. Cheap bottom
yeah.
shelf.
We'll
And-
take any of them.
And so the story goes back in the day. It's mostly during the times of Prohibition and the Great Depression that during the train tracks and all the hobos were riding around. If they couldn't get a bottle, what they could find is the hemp growing on the side of the train tracks. They could roll it up into a newspaper
Wow.
and smoke it up and kind of take it down like a bottle.
Nice.
Do you know, how does that compare in potency to what we have today? I'm real curious. I'd never heard of this before.
Probably 1,000,000 times less potent.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I would only imagine. But I sure would love to sit on a train and try it back in the day.
Yeah. Right.
So Poor Man's Whiskey have got a show 2 weeks from tonight
Yeah.
at the Fillmore,
Black Friday.
November 20. Oh, that's the day after Thanksgiving, so it's a
Yeah.
long weekend. Even
Yeah.
better. I didn't
It's
even,
Black
that never
Friday.
even occurred to me. So Black Friday, if you're going to buy something, buy tickets to see Poor Man's Whiskey at the Fillmore. But the name of the show is Farewell for Now. So what's the story with that?
Well, it's actually a beautiful thing, and I think it's a celebration. And that's what I'm trying to explain to everyone. Is Jason and I basically started this band 18 years ago,
Wow.
and it's like hopping on a train.
Yeah.
I mean, and then hitting that poor man's whiskey every day to get through it. But it's really like a train ride, and I think we need to celebrate the fact that this went further than we ever thought. And
Playing the Fillmore, and not your first time either.
yeah, this will be our third time.
Wow,
And headlining, and I think we just need to, I think Jason and I were just talking about stepping back and saying, Actually, this is our celebration of, it is actually time to take a break. We need it.
Yeah.
I got little kids at home, and that was more my decision.
Yeah.
I want to be home. I don't want to be just hitting the road like you sort of have to do. So you could either keep hitting it or you could put on the brakes a little bit. And I think Jason was like, hey, if we're going to put on the brakes, why don't we just stop for a little bit? So that's what we're doing.
It's funny you say that. Our last guest here was Mike Scott from the Waterboys, and we were talking about the very same thing. And his kid, they played at Hardly Strictly Bluegrass, and his family and kids flew out from Ireland, and he said it was great to see them. But we were like, "Do you get tired of touring?" He's like, "No." He's like, "I love it on the road," and you don't hear that from many people. Especially, he's been doing it for like 35 years.
Well, I mean, it also has to do with how many of you there are. That's a lot of people to be traveling with all the time. That's like, I can only deal with my husband so much. So this is like 1, 2, 3, 4 more husbands. Good God.
But the other part of this is that it's not. This isn't. You all have, or some of you have other jobs too, right?
Every single one of us.
Oh, okay.
We all have day jobs, actually.
Wow.
The Bay Area is not an easy place to make ends
No.
meet as a musician.
No.
So it's usually good to have some other source of income.
In fact, I was reading it. Maybe it was you, Josh, talking about playing Hardly Strictly Bluegrass a couple of years ago on the Sunday, and then getting up at 4 a.m. to go to work the next day.
Yeah, that was.
So you're like a rock star, and then you're.
Then you're a regular guy.
Yeah, I could never do that now, but back then I could. you know?
Yeah.
You're like, at midnight, I turn into a pumpkin.
Well, if you're my wife and I, we go to bed at 7. So.
Are you kidding?
No.
Still?
No. So because Renee and I used to have to get up at 3:30 every morning or 4 o'clock, and it's very hard to break that. 20 years of
I
getting up.
had no trouble breaking that.
okay,
I will
all right.
tell you.
So I
broke that fucking shit within 2 months.
I sound pathetic. I'm sorry. I was in Ireland last week, so we're still a little jet lagged, and the time change and all. And now I'm embarrassed that I admitted that. But normally I'm at home in my pajamas and my slippers at this time. Anyway, let's get another tune from Poor Man's Whiskey.
So talking about going on the road, this is a road song that Jason back here, everyone, let's just meet Jason Beard again, everybody. He does not have a microphone. He's like microphobia. But he and I met in the year of 1995, and we started playing music at UC Santa Barbara together. And that was a wonderful time where we had Jack Johnson and the band Animal Liberation Orchestra. So anyway, so Jason and I have been together basically. We're sort of like married, together. And but we're taking a little break anyway. But he's a great.
What did Chris Martin and Gwyneth Paltrow do? Consciously uncoupling.
So Jason's a great songwriter, and I remember him starting this song when we were leaving Nevada, and he was like, just the windshield wipers were going like this. And when we got to Colorado, he said, "Hey, Josh, I just wrote a song." And this is one of my favorite songs ever, actually, and Jason Beard wrote it. So,
all right.
This one is called Wyoming.
Oh.
Yeah. me stop and think of you. Wasted days when we were young. Blink an eye and now it's gone. If I could, I'd turn back now.
When life became a give and take, and life to drown in our mistakes.
Like to take you to a place where there are no yesterdays. Live a life in your embrace. Winds blow strong across the plain.
Wyoming skies are white and blue, so blue.
Miles and miles in front of me. Makes me stop and think of you. Wasted days when we were young. Blink an eye and now it's gone. If I could, I'd turn back now. 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 Come on, help me out. Let's do this, Haight Street. If I could, I'd turn back now. If I could, I'd turn back now. If I could, I'd turn back now. And if I could, I'd turn back now.
Yeah.
Oh my God, just beautiful. Poor man's whiskey.
So that song was written as you were driving through Utah to Colorado. And it's called Wyoming. So, being in a band must have brought you to lots of places. Yeah. But no, seriously, like life on the road. So when you were students in UC Santa Barbara, it was probably a dream to be in a band and travel the country and play all over the place. And you've gotten to do that, right?
we've surpassed any dream I could have ever imagined, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's
What were you studying at UC Santa Barbara?
Yo estudié el español.
Oh, you see, it worked.
Using my major, you know?
Yeah.
I have a quick question. George, hi George, back there. Did you
George, you got to get on a microphone here.
Did you did you bring that suitcase to play just because quarters were tight, or is that your chosen instrument?
The instrument that chose me.
So, for those of you listening on the podcast, George, I presume you regularly play drums or percussion?
Yes, drums.
Okay, drums. So tonight he's assigned to suitcase.
It's my takeoff on the washboard.
No, and it actually does sound like a washboard.
Sounds a lot better than
Anything
a
special about this?
It's very special.
Is it really? Is that like
How do you make it sound like a washboard? Up to the microphone there.
just your nails on that thing?
Yeah.
So you need obviously a suitcase with a little, texture to it. Yeah. But have you been using that same suitcase for a very long time?
This is the original suitcase. It has been lost a few times,
Really?
so it's taken its own hiatus.
But it's come back to you?
It's come back. It's still,
Okay.
Today it's
Getting
here.
exasperated.
I'm not exactly. I find it hilarious because could either be an NPR show about fucking suitcases,
I have a way of
or
doing
an
that.
or an SNL sketch. But it's wonderful. I'm sure there's podcasts. About suitcases. So
Stay tuned.
Thank
you,
you, George, very much. Nobody else playing odd instruments. We got a double bass. I get corrected when I call it a double bass. Stand-up bass back there. We got a mandolin. We got all kinds of stuff.
Joshua says double bass
Double
is okay.
bass. Double bass. Thank you. We had the Wood Brothers on our show once, and there was a big debate. Yeah. So anyway, okay. I've forgotten how many songs we're into this. Are we 3 songs into this already? 2. That is awesome. That means we got a bunch more songs. So let's get another song from Poor Man's Whiskey.
Yeah, I'd like to take a moment to introduce one of our brand new, well, he is our brand new member, and it's Jimbo Scott over here.
Hey, Jimbo.
Howdy do.
Welcome to the band. We're going on hiatus.
Yeah. Welcome. I love you, brother. See you later.
Peace.
So we met Jimbo. We were traveling through the foothills in Murphy's, California. Who would have?
Yeah.
What up, Murphys?
Yay.
Who would have thought that place would have such an awesome music scene? And anyway, we met Jimbo. He was opening for us, and we were hearing his golden voice.
Oh, man, it's beautiful.
And Jason basically was like, hey, let me get your number. And at that point, we had an opening, and welcome Jimbo to Poor Man's Whiskey.
Yeah.
A wonderful
Pretty
addition.
sweet gig.
You guys sound great together.
Yeah, you
It's
really
beautiful.
do.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a pretty sweet gig. I'm as much as I've had a great time the last couple of years. I'm sad that we're going on hiatus because I'm having the time of my life. But my intention is just to keep my momentum going. You'll hopefully be hearing some Jimbo Scott shows happening. In the
Well, we
future,
will
too.
keep an eye out for you. Absolutely.
But in the meantime, let's play a Jimbo Scott song with Poor Man's Whiskey. This song, I wrote this song with the intention of, there's a lot of us who know it's dark times right now, but everyone in this room has the power to do something about that. So this song's called Scars and Tattoos, and it's for all of you who want to turn a light on in here. Upon this planet, only here a short while. Stand upon a soapbox, try try to catch you with a word. We only walk in one direction. That's the one that our feet will take us. No destinations, no destinations. We will leave a lasting impression. Cut close to the bone. You can choose between scars and tattoos. It's how you wear them home. We all want peaceful conversations, the kind of words that will embrace you and reach underneath your armor. Draw out an honest cry. No, I can't claim to have the answers. Only questions in an empty cupboard. Maybe you have what I need to nourish me again. We will leave a lasting impression. Cut close to the bone. You can choose between scars and tattoos. It's how you wear them home. All right, Josh. Give me what you got. We're out here looking for the agents, all of those that promise changes, but they're blinded by the spotlights. They can't look us in the eye. We all rumble with a hunger, something sweet to fill the spaces in between us. We had it all the time. We called it love, we called it love. We will leave a lasting impression. Cut close to the bone. You can choose between scars and tattoos. It's how you wear them home. We will leave a lasting impression. Cut close to the bone. You can choose between scars and tattoos. It's how you wear them home. It's how you wear them home. Said it's how you wear them home. Oh yeah, it's how you wear them home.
Yeah.
Poor Man's Whiskey doing a Jimbo Scott song. Let me ask you this. On Black Friday, when you guys play the Fillmore, will you do some of your tunes too? You gonna mix it up a little bit?
I think yeah, we might have one or two of them in there.
Nice. That's cool.
That's gonna be that's exciting thing for me because the band's played the Fillmore. They've headlined the Fillmore 3 times.
That's right.
I grew up here in the Bay Area. I've been a musician all my life. This will be my first time playing on stage at the Fillmore.
And opening the show is our very dear friend, Sam Chase and the Untraditional. The Sam Chase, I should say. And Sam's all excited because, believe it or not, Sam's been doing this a while too, but he has never played the Fillmore either. So that's going to be awesome. It's almost like a double bill of awesomeness. Are you guys good friends with Sam?
Yeah, I've known Sam. I've known Sam since college. Actually, we met in a stand-up comedy class.
Hang on. So you're a Santa Cruz slug, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Banana slug.
Banana slug.
Yeah.
You're a banana
What else,
slug.
lady? Slugs in the room?
So we got Santa Barbara, And we got UC Santa Barbara, UC Santa Cruz. Anyone from UC from Chico State? No. I'm trying to get the three party schools.
The party schools.
Trying to get the.
I want
So
to.
everybody we have on this show.
I need to ask. So this stand-up comedy class.
Yeah, exactly.
Was it a proper credited class?
Indeed, it was.
So that was what's so beautiful about UC Santa Cruz. We had John Craigie on our show, and he took the Grateful Dead class.
I didn't take that one.
No. So is there any serious classes at UC? Not that stand-up comedy is not.
There might be like a writing class or something. I don't know.
Yeah. So how do you? So now I'm fascinated. What happens at stand-up? So surely stand-up comedy is all about charisma and the natural ability. So can it be taught?
Yeah, actually, I'd say it can. It's funny is I actually still draw on stuff that I learned in that class.
Yeah.
Good.
It was taught actually by Doug Holzclaw, who's from here. He was the director of Theater Rhinoceros here in San Francisco. He may still be working with them. Fantastic comedian. And it was a lot about kind of learning the craft, because there is, it looks like someone just going on stage and vamping, but what you're actually seeing is someone's work for years and years of crafting every little phrase. Yeah. And I've found actually with banter, like when I'm doing a solo show and I've got to keep people entertained between songs and stuff, that stand-up comedy class has helped me a lot in figuring out how to actually plan that stuff out and make sure that I'm entertaining when I'm babbling in the middle of things.
Well, it also it makes Sam Chase makes much more sense now that you've told
he
us.
was one of the funniest people in that
right,
class.
Exactly. Top honors. You are a genius.
Well, I'm glad to know. Oh, I'm sorry.
I was going to say I met Sam Chase once around a campfire, and right away he was like, "You like whiskey?" Yeah. And then we started to just toss around a guitar together back and forth, and I was like, "Oh man, you and I are friends." Yeah.
I always thought with Sam, and again, we've had Sam on our show on a few occasions, so we're not making this the Sam Chase show. But Sam, when I first met him, he's this hilarious, really talented, hard drinking guy, and you think like some of that's got to be an act, especially the hard drinking part. But no, that's the realest part about him.
No comment.
Anyway, we'll get another tune from Poor Man's Whiskey. They're going to do a Sam Chase something. No, I'm just kidding.
So Jason and I do a lot of co-writing together, where he generally gives me a melody, some chords, and an idea of what he's thinking. And on this specific song, I was sitting up on the top of Mount Tam and Bolinas Ridge, and just thinking about coming home after being away for about 3 years when I was in the Peace Corps. And this one is called 3 Years Gone. It's been a long time since I've seen you. It was such a long time far from home. It was such a long time spent thinking about you from the places that I've roamed. But 3 years gone, well, I'm coming home. Hitched a ride out on the highway in the early morning rain, but you saw that it was coming, but I left you anyway. For 3 years gone, well, I'm coming home. That I'm not alone. threw my troubles in the wind. I didn't know where I was going, didn't know if I'd see you again. 3 years gone, well, I'm coming home, and now I find that I'm not alone, not alone, not alone, not alone. It's been a long time since I've seen you. Was such a long time far from home. Such a long time spent thinking about you from the places that I've roamed. 3 years gone, I'm coming home. Lord knows I've changed. Moving on down the road, but I love you just the same. 3 years gone, but I'm coming home, and now I find that I'm not alone, not alone, not alone.
Nice.
Oh my God. So great. Poor man's whiskey.
Thank you, Josh, for leaning over and telling me as we thought the song was ending, he goes, we're going to go really fast here. So I appreciate that. You mentioned a couple of things I wanted to talk to you about. You mentioned at the top of that song, you wrote that sitting on Mount Tam, beside Mount Tam.
At the top.
Bolinas Ridge.
Bolinas Ridge.
Looking out, you know.
Looking
yeah,
out.
yeah.
And earlier you and I talked about you're a surfer. You're an outdoors guy. I like that about you.
Yeah. I surf so that I don't do drugs, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, right on.
Same high.
Yeah.
Similar.
It's
Exactly.
It's exactly the same.
Yeah.
But it's natural.
Yeah. So Ocean Beach. I was saying this earlier too. So he you can die from it. Ocean Beach, I've always thought was like serious hardcore. Like you really got to know what you're doing surfing Ocean Beach. So you must be pretty good.
I won't say I'm good, but I've spent about 25 years of my life doing it.
Okay.
So I guess, you know, the 10,000 hours thing where
right.
I have wave knowledge. But I went out this morning and there was the first big swell hit today.
Yeah.
And I almost thought I was going to die.
Okay.
Wow.
And then the other thing is the Peace Corps.
That's why you don't think, buddy.
You were in the Peace Corps. Sorry.
Yes, I was in the Peace Corps right after college. 1998, I got a one-way ticket to El Salvador.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a life learning experience.
Yeah, I was down there for 3 years, and that's basically where I dove into the world of songwriting. I just took literally an entire suitcase full of tapes, and and then books too. And I just read and I listened. I also did work, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had to do that.
Saving the world and all.
But there was a lot of hammock time, and I just, you know, really started to listen to the Woody Guthrie, Pete Seeger, Bob Dylan, all that stuff. And I pretty much learned every one of those songs and just what's a good song, you know?
Well, I was going to ask because you guys are taking it's Farewell for Now tour. Do you anticipate that you guys will be writing songs separately together? Will you still be writing? I mean, that's got to be a part of your DNA.
Oh, of course, yeah. I mean, when the muse hits, you gotta be there for it. So,
But will you still collaborate?
for sure.
They meet once a week. No, I'm just trying because no one can hear that.
I know,
so
I
it's
know.
like when you're
Yeah.
whatever. Okay, so we got time for a couple more songs. I wanted to talk about because Poor Man's Whiskey are known for doing these. They do Dark Side of the Moonshine, for example. They do whole albums. They've done Graceland. And Renee, at the start of the show, pointed out that they're playing the day after Thanksgiving, which I hadn't realized. And it reminded me that when the band did their last show, the last waltz, at, where was that? Winterland. That was on Thanksgiving. So they're not having Thanksgiving dinner at the Fillmore like they did for the last waltz. But I think we are going to get a song by the band from you guys, are we?
We can do that. Yeah, so we like to do a lot of covers. And I think this one shines right here with Jimbo Scott, so let's give it up.
They blew up the Chicken Man in Philly last night. They blew up his house too. Down on the boardwalk, they're ready for a fight. Gonna see what them ragged boys can do. There's trouble busting in from out of state, and the DA can't get no relief. Gonna be a rumble on that promenade, and the gambling commissioners are hanging on by the skin of his teeth. job and I put my money away. But I got the kind of debts no honest man can pay. So I pulled out what I had out from that Central Trust, and I bought us 2 tickets on that Coast City bus. Everything dies, baby, that's a fact. Maybe everything that dies someday comes back. Put your makeup on, fix your hair up pretty, and meet me tonight in Atlantic City. Well, our luck may have died and our luck may be cold, but with you forever I stay. We're going out where the sands turn to gold, so put your stockings on, 'cause it might get cold. Oh, everything dies, baby, that's a fact. Maybe everything that dies someday comes back. Put your makeup on, fix your hair up pretty, and meet me tonight in Atlantic City. So I'm looking for a job, but it's hard to find. There's winners and there's losers, and I'm south of a line. But I'm tired of coming out on that losing end. So I talked to a man last night, gonna do a little favor for him. Everything dies, baby, that's a fact. Maybe everything that dies someday comes back. Put your makeup on, fix your hair up pretty, and meet me tonight in Atlantic City. Oh, meet me tonight in Atlantic City. Yeah, meet me tonight in Atlantic City. Hey!
That was beautiful.
Poor Man's Whiskey, doing the bands. So when you do whole albums, is that really fun to do? Is it a lot of work? Like I can imagine Dark Side of the Moonshine, because it's such a cool concept. But is it hard?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So Jason and I, we get these crazy harebrained schemes, and it's mostly Jason going like, "I got this great idea," and I'm like, "You are crazy. That's never gonna work."
Yeah.
That's usually how it happens. That was him with Dark Side of the Moonshine. He was like, "Oh my God, it's incredible. You can boom chuck the entire album." I'm like, "Oh my God, no, no."
Hey, Jason, did the concept or the name come first? All right. Cool.
Yeah. Well, and then we of course. So I approved it. I was like, okay, I that's crazy, but that's awesome. And then I was like, only if we can dress up as Wizard of Oz characters and sync it to the movie.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, did you really?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so amazing.
Oh my God. Does it live on the internet? Somewhere it must. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna
There's
I'm gonna go
samples out
home
there.
and smoke a bowl and watch Dark Side of the Moonshine, and I'm gonna sync it up with The Wizard of Oz. Well, it's been a pleasure to have you guys on. It feels kind of bittersweet in that you're taking this hiatus, but hopefully it's not. It's
Well, and here's the thing. We all have Friday the 29th. We have it
Yeah.
together, that Black Friday. We're going to
Who's
hang
gonna
out
be
at the
there?
Fillmore.
Who's coming?
I'm going.
Oh, come on now.
come on.
Everybody should go there.
Okay.
We'll see you there.
Exactly. Okay. By applause, everybody who's going to the show on the 29th at the Fillmore.
You gotta work off that turkey dinner the night before.
Exactly.
So you gotta dance
With
your booty
the
off.
Sam Chase and the Untraditional opening. Okay, it's been a real pleasure to have you guys on. We're going to get one more tune out of you guys.
Yeah. So it's going to be the last Whiskey Waltz at the Fillmore, and it's all ages, just so you know. This one is about that morning at 4 a.m. when I had to go to work after Hardly Strictly Bluegrass Music Festival. During this time, I was driving semi-trucks up in Sonoma County. This one's called I'm Only a Rock Star on the Weekend. All right, everyone help me. Well, I'm only a rock star on the weekend till the bars all close and I have to sober up. Yes, I'm only a rock star on the weekend till my golden chariot turns into a semi-truck. Well, there aren't too many long hairs in Sonoma, and there are too many uppies in Marin. And tonight I can't smoke marijuana. Why not? Because I'm taking that P-test again. Come on now. Because I'm only a rock star on the weekend till the bars all close and I have to sober up. Yes, I'm only a rock star on the weekend till my golden chariot turns into a semi-truck. Well, I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and I hook up that trailer to the hitch. Can we swear? Yes. Load it down with 20 tons. And I drove that fucker right into a ditch. Come on now. Because I'm only a rock star on the weekend until the bars all close and I have to sober up. Yes, I'm only a rock star on the weekends until my golden chariot turns into a semi-truck. So turn on the lights, this party can't be over. Hand me old suitcase for a sec. Let's give it up for the suitcase.
Yeah! Woo! Suitcase.
The suitcase went all the way to Australia, to Canada, and all the way through many, many states, and it's still here.
Yay.
And also, one more thing. Let's give it up to K-Fog radio station.
R.I.P.
And to the good old days when people used to listen to rock and roll on the radio. And let me sing you a song just like Willie Nelson. Let's give it up for Willie Nelson. 'Cause one more time. 'Cause I'm a mother trucking, whiskey drinking, marijuana smoking, banjo picking, Northern California hippie. Redneck. Well, I'm only a rock star on the weekend till the bars all close and I have to sober up. Because I'm only a rock star on the weekend until my golden chariot turns into a semi-truck. Well, I'm only a rock star on the weekend till the bars all close and I have to sober up. Yes, I'm only a rock star on the weekends till my golden chariot turns into a semi-truck. Because I'm only a rock star on the weekend till the bars all close and I have to sober up. Yes, I'm over to this song. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Poor Man's Whiskey. How wonderful is that? Standing ovation. Thank you so much, you guys.
An absolute honor.
Before you put your instruments away, we have to do. So here's the deal. The end of the show has come, but we have to do credits because we got to thank various people so that we could do this show. And if the band walks off the stage, then you all leave. So we always ask that our musician guests play a little bit of credit music as we read the credits. And before we read the credits, can you do me all a favor?
Oh, yeah. You can
tonight, the Haight Street Art Center is a nonprofit, and the show is free tonight. But it is not free to put on. The electricity costs money, staff costs money, all of this costs money. So if you wouldn't mind,
and it's great to give back to the
it
space
is.
that gives to us so generously.
We're going to pass a bucket around, and if you wouldn't mind donating to the nonprofit, free to the public Haight Street Art Center,
thank you.
We would very much appreciate it, and we will read some credits. Renee, do you want to start?
Sure. This podcast and video will be available tomorrow at popupbayarea.org on our Patreon page, which is patreon.com/popupbayarea, or just search Renee and Irish Greg's Pop-Up on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, and Google Play.
On Patreon, you can support us to help keep this show going. Becoming a patron at the $5 a month level gets you into these events. Plus delicious complimentary drinks, courtesy of 21st Amendment Brewery and Whetstone Wine Cellars.
Also, we're adding tons of old K-Fog Morning Show interviews, 10 to 10s, live performances, and a bunch of videos, so your financial support is greatly appreciated and helps us subsidize these live shows.
Follow us and like us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Pop Up Bay Area. Please remember that likes are nice, but retweets and shares help us grow, as well as really helping the musicians performing tonight. So be sure to tag Poor Man's Whiskey as well, okay?
And big thanks to our host, the nonprofit Haight Street Art Center. Tell your friends about this amazing free resource, haightstreetart.org.
Big thank you to my lovely wife, Samantha Martin, who's been slinging drinks back there all night. And Robert Arroyo, who greeted you at the door, as he always does. Thank you, Robert.
And a massive thanks to Elliot Peltzman from the Stone Foxes.
So
he pitch hit tonight and did the sound.
Here's the secret tonight. We had 5 rock stars on the stage, but really we had 6 rock stars because we have Elliot from the Stone Foxes doing sound. So only a few more minutes.
And of course, the great Poor Man's Whiskey, Josh, Jason, Jimbo, Joshua, George. Join us for their farewell show, the Farewell for Now show at the Fillmore, along with the Sam Chase and the Untraditional, Friday, November 29th, Black Friday. Go to poormanswhiskey.com, go to the Fillmore, and we'll see you there.
Okay, just one more thing. Please join us for our next show as we continue the Foghead tradition of holiday giving at Renee and Irish Greg's Concert for Kids.
We're still in the fucking name.
The show will feature seasonal classics and originals by our dear friend Megan Slankard and her festive trio. The show is free, but we ask that you continue the K-Fog tradition of bringing a new unwrapped toy or book, and we are going to give those to the San Francisco Firefighters Toys program. We'll also be taking donations for the Blues Bear School of Music. So that is Thursday, December 5th.
And thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much.
We'd like to say thank you to Renee and Irish Greg. We got 9 rock stars on the stage. Hey, what song is this? It's sound check song. Hey, what song is this? It's credit song.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.